Hey guys, you might have noticed that biotech is pretty hot right now because of the situation that we have out there. And so I wanted to show a few different ways that you could discover this situation and what stocks you could find that would be, potentially things that you might want to look at trading. I've discovered that, you kind of want to be trading things that are moving and the volatility is there and there's some ups and downs and stuff. If you're going to buy and hold and you want something stable and just slowly going up, that's great. But if you're going to be trading for, a day or even a few days or a week, you want something that has some excitement in it, because it's going to move. And so I'll show you some different ways. So one of the ways is on this drill down tab in TC2000, and there's a healthcare at the top, and it's ranked by percent daily change. There's other ways you could look at longer periods of time and different things, but just on a percent change for the day, this is the best. And so if we click on healthcare, we'll see all the stocks on the right hand side for healthcare. And I've got the pre-market checked here. In TC2000, that's a new feature to show pre-market. You can have that on all the time. You don't have to check it, but if you look here, you've got this GMDA. And when you see kind of a big candle like this, this is in the morning here, you can go to a shorter duration to see, what's going on. In the gray area is the pre-market. If it spikes, so it spiked, it's kind of coming back a bit. A lot of times it kind of comes down and then will keep going up once it gets back to some sort of moving average here. 10-minute chart. So this is a great way to see all the stocks in the healthcare that are moving today. And you still would look at the chart and see what it's looking like, but that's one way to do this. And the other thing you might want to keep in mind, like I've trying to point out in many videos, is to look at the chart and see where you might have gotten in sooner. For example, when you see this kind of a curve coming up, you might put an alert, say here, and sort of see what's happening. Once it triggers that alert, you might be able to get in sooner. You could even look here, you've got a pretty good run from March 19th to somewhere up here, April 23rd. So about a month, you've got an 85% gain. And there was nothing, it was just all above this exponential moving average. So, there's ways to just buy even over a few days. You don't have to, or weeks even. It's not all crazy biotech spikes that just occur in one day sort of thing. So you can go through, this list and look at different stocks if you wanted to potentially trade them. Sometimes I look at a stock, it doesn't look very, very nice. And so I don't tend to get into them. But another way is to drill down a bit further instead of just healthcare, is to look at, and this shows you a rank from percent change yesterday, is biotechnology. So that's the whole sector. So you could actually look at this chart and see, strong sectors before you get into individual stocks. But so here you have, similar, because these are like the best ones in the biotech space right now. And then you have medical distribution. You have, so there's other things like medical instruments I've seen that have done well. You can see here that these stocks, this breaks through the 200 moving day average. That's a good, could test it a little bit, but it's a good sign. It bounced off, you can see here, the 200 day. This is a nice run from April 22nd. Went right through the 50, comes up, bounces off the 200, and then now it's going through it. MBOT is one that you might have seen. It's not doing so great right now, but it had a good spike here. So, you obviously have to be careful with some of these. So that's one way. I like to see, like what's been doing well lately. There is another way you can do this on a little bit longer term, and that's sector by year. So TC2000 will show you, year to date. It's got all the previous years, which you could look at, see which ones have been down and then which ones have come back up. Like right now, energy has been really bad for year to date. Financial services, so banks, energy, real estate, basic materials and industrials, even utilities has not been that great. But year to date, you've got a slight gain here in healthcare and technology. So those are the big ones. You've got a lot of like cloud services and online shopping, stuff like that I've talked about. And then healthcare, obviously, with the health situation that we have. So another way, instead of just looking at like the daily change, which is a current potential, just a short trend, this shows that these two have been doing pretty well since the beginning of the year and even previously, but basically as of this year. So if you were to look, let's go back to healthcare again, you're going to get kind of the similar sectors, but in a different format. So biotech, diagnostics, and research. So obviously testing is important. So then you can go down here. I don't have this sorted by percent. Okay, here we go. So Codex, that's looking, like it's broken through this kind of, you see here how it's hit this resistance from a previous high, and now it's come through. Quidel, incredible. Like you could basically have bought this April 9th and see how it stayed above this moving average ever since. So that's an incredible, obviously you can look back and see what could have happened, but that's 126%. But the point is that, it's not just, everyone thinks it's all crazy volatility, but there's definitely buy and hold, not just in biotech, but in other things as well. So this is kind of a way that you can look at what's happening year to date to see what's been doing well just a bit longer. Obviously, there's scans and things you can do to look at percent changes on whatever time frame you want. But this is a top-down sort of sector approach. See the hot sectors, even since, if you're seeing this since, this is over 5 months of the year now. So you're seeing a strong, tendency to go since January. It's been, these are strong sectors, not just for short durations. Another thing, so when I'm looking at, it's kind of related to this, when I'm looking at my regular charts, if I go to watch lists, there's this thing, it says pre-market, and that way I'll only see stocks that are showing pre-market. So a lot of stocks don't actually trade in the pre-market. You can't, so then you'll see a lot of times that if you look at a list of stocks, you'll see stocks that haven't, it's yesterday's changes combined with today's pre-market changes. So this shows you just stocks that are trading in pre-market. Sometimes there's a stock split or something, a reverse split, but this way, when you look at the nice thing with TC2000 is that there's so many things, but it shows you if you want, like I graded a little bit light, but it says healthcare and then biotech. So if you're looking at all the stocks that are going up a lot in the morning, it'll show you that biotech. So that'll give you a clue. This is oil and gas. This is another one, biotech. Drug manufacturer, so it's related to healthcare. So that'll give you a clue. Oh yeah, the other thing you can do, so if you see something in, let's say, drug manufacturer specialty, right next to the stock ticker is industry info. So you click on this and it says, if you want to go to the healthcare, but you can open up the watch list for drug manufacturers and you'll see, in this case, AKRX is the highest one, but then you'll see SNDL, so then you can easily space bar through. This one looks pretty good. It just came back down off the 200. And then you'll be able to look at a whole bunch of stocks. So like when I first started, I was on some websites and stuff, and I was just kind of looking around, and occasionally I would add stocks to a watch list that were just like, for whatever reason, interesting at the time. And I wasn't really scanning and really picking the best stocks and finding those strong sectors to trade with. And so now I've got a lot of tools here that I can use to make the job more efficient. You can flag the ones that you like, and then they go into a watch list called flagged items. So then you can click on that and just see them, or you can put them into your own watch lists as well. So hopefully that helps you guys find some hot biotech stocks. As I said, these are CBAY, GMDA, NVAX, AKRX, and a bunch like that are doing well this morning. Some of these are penny stocks, so you may or may not want to trade things that are under $5 or whatever, but there's definitely opportunities with these as well if you're careful. Hope you guys like that. We'll talk to you later.